back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you, this is going to be a continuation of our previous video. We actually did a video, I posted it some few days back, of how to cut a cone peplum, how to calculate and cut it. And then I got lots of requests from subscribers that I should show them how to actually pad and sew the peplum. So today that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to actually pad it, and then we're going to line it, how to pad, line, and then sew it for you to have that beautiful effect. So I have the fabrics here, the materials that I'm going to use. So I have my Ankara that I'm going to use to cut my peplum, and then I have two kind of interfacing that I'm going to use here. I have, this is a medium stay. You can use a peplum gum, depends on the area where you are on your area, the kind of interfacing that they have. You can use a peplum stay, you can use a collar stay. So this is a medium stay, that's what I'm going to use. And then I have hair stay, I'm going to use hair stay also. So for mine, I'm going to use hair stay also. And then you can use, this is like the softer. If you don't want it to be very standing, you can decide to use soft interfacing. So this one is like a soft one. And then this is the lining that I'm going to be using. So the first thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to transfer to my fabric. I'm going to cut out all of my pieces. Okay, so before I continue, if you are new to my channel, if this is the first time of you coming across Stylish Naija YouTube channel, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button, subscribe to Stylish Naija YouTube channel, and then also hit on the bell to get an update whenever I upload a new video. And then if you want to register for my online classes, you can see my number scrolling through the screen. You can send me a message on WhatsApp, and then I'll give you the details of the available classes. Okay, now let's get started. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out all of my pieces. So the link of the previous video I'm going to drop in the description box for those that did not watch the first video on how to actually calculate and cut the cone peplum from the picture above. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to transfer to my fabric. So I'm going to cut out all of my pieces right now, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so you see I finished cutting all of my pieces now, so I'm going to explain. So this is my hair stay. So my hair stay, I'm going to iron. So when cutting this, please, you have to be very careful. You make sure that you are not going to do it in such a way that maybe your lining will be bigger than your fabric. You could see mine. You see, I place them together and make sure. You make sure you cut them. Let them be exactly the same because if you cut them, if the lining is bigger than the fabric, you are going to have problem doing that. So my hair stay now, I'm going to iron on my fabric like this. So this, you can actually use a peplum gum or a peplum stay also in place of this. So these ones now, I'm going to iron them on my lining. That's the stronger ones, I'll iron on the lining. So the stronger ones also, I could iron on my fabric. So I'm just trying to show you different types of interfacing to use. So I could iron these ones also on my fabric and then iron them on the lining. So I'm going to take all of them now, all of my pieces, and then I'll go and iron all of them, and then I'll come back and show you how we're going to stitch them together. It is a very simple process. So for some of you that asked about crinoline, so I'm going to show you, we're going to do one piece with a crinoline. I'm not including crinoline today, but we're going to stitch one with a crinoline and then see the effect of it. Okay, so you see I finished ironing all of my pieces together. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take them back to my sewing machine, and then I'm going to start stitching them together. So the same thing I'm doing to the lining, I will do to the fabric. So you see them like this now. I'm going to take this like this, and then I'm going to stitch. Yeah, I'll use quarter of an inch. I'll stitch this together, and then I'll take another pieces. I'll just join all of them. Okay, let me just show you like this. So I'll join all of them together like this on one side, all of the lining together, and then the same thing I'll do on the fabric. So all of my fabric, I'll join all of my fabrics together also. So if you want to make your lining, your interfacing full, you can do that. So I'll go ahead and go and do that, and then I'll bring it back and show you. Okay, so I finished stitching all of my pieces together. So this is my lining, so you could see all of them together, and then here's my fabric. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to join them together now. So what I'm going to do, so that was why I was asking for you to make sure that all of the pieces are equal before turning with a lining, or else it's going to give you problems. But once they are equal, you are not going to have any problem. So I'm going to make sure I double check it before I start stitching it from the down part. So what you are going to do when stitching, so if you notice I did not reduce my lining, because if I reduce the lining from the under, it's going to truncate the down part. Both of the down part, that's the width of the down, they are not going to be the same. So I did not reduce the lining from the down, rather I'm going to reduce it from the top. After stitching, I'm just going to trim out a little bit. So here is what I have. So you see now that all of the lines, you make sure when stitching, so I'm going to start stitching like this from this point like this, and then when I get to this point, I'm going to make sure that the lines here, that's this fabric line and the lining line, that both of them they align. If it does not align, that means I'll have to check it properly again, and then I'll continue with the second one. Once I get to this part again, I'll stitch like this, and then get to this point also, make sure that they align on this part, and then I'll continue like that, and then make sure that they align. If they don't align, so like this one now, I noticed that this part did not align, so I'm going to check it properly to make sure that they align. So I'm going to start checking it from this part. I want everything, I want them to align together. So this part now, these ones now, they align properly. So they align on this part. So you could see they are on the same line. They are on the same line. They are on the same line now. And then they are on the same line. So I'm going to start stitching from this part now. So I'll just take it back to my machine, and then I'll go and start stitching from the down. So like I told you, I'll stitch like this and then stitch the whole down, just the way you turn your peplum. So for this, I'm not doing an inseam finishing. So I'm doing the regular finishing. So I'll go and do that and then bring it back and show you how it will look like at the end. Okay, so I finished stitching now. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to trim all of the edges, and then once I trim it and then I get to this part, I'll just take that part in a little bit, and then I would continue with the okay. So the next thing now, I'm going to open it up. So you see it's looking beautiful. So I'm going to open it up, and then I will go and iron it. I'll just open it up and iron it, and then bring it back and show you how it will look like. Okay, so you could see at the end of the day, so after joining them together, so you see how it is looking beautiful. So you could see the inside. So you see how the inside looks like. It's so neat and clean. And then, so I'm going to place it on the mannequin now for you to see the standing effect. So if you want it bulkier, what you are going to do, instead of doing like 10 panels, you can choose to do like 14 or 16 panels. So this is for this. So for the crinoline, if you want the one that you are going to add a crinoline to it, so this is what you are going to do, just the regular way of using crinoline to turn your peplum. That's what you are going to do. So you are just going to take the crinoline like this, and then you are going to, so I'll cut it and just illustrate it to you, even though I'm not going to stitch it. And then you are going to take the lining, you are going to join the crinoline, just join it on all of the pieces round, just the same way we joined these ones together. That's, you join them on each of the pieces, you join them on the fabric, and then just the same normal way. And then when it's time to turn with lining, you turn it with your lining just the same way we did. The only difference is that you are going to attach crinoline to the down part of your own fabric. That's if you don't want to pad, if you don't want to use all the padding materials we use, so you can actually do that. You are still going to get a very good standing effect. So that's for that. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you see it on my mannequin how it is looking. So like the picture that I showed you on the thumbnail, that one is about 20 pieces. So you remember I did 10 pieces. So if you want it more bulky, you can do 20 pieces. You can even do 25 pieces, depends on how big and how small and how full you want it to be. So you just use your own discretion and then you do it. So at the end of the day, so you could see that we actually achieved it. So you see it is standing well, it is looking beautiful, and then all of the cones are standing. So if you want, you don't mind the down, I use 7 inches. If you want the down to be bigger, you can add to it. Maybe you can use about 10 inches. But me, I don't like bigger, I don't like big ones. I just like cute ones. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please drop a comment for me and then hit on the like button to make me know you appreciate what I did. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.